Welcome everyone to Frank Analysis and Hear Me Out podcast. I'm joined today by a good friend, also a member of the Power Anthem News Network. His name is djelf7. You can go ahead and subscribe to his channel called djelf7. So it's great to have you on, man. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm really proud to be here, man. I'm gonna have a great time. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
I'm sure. And so we'll start out first by talking about, what we talked about before camera is we're calling this your origin story of how you started as an activist and how you joined Movement for a People's Party. So how did that all get started up?
Okay, so the thing is that when I was a young kid, I did well academically. So a lot of times, I grew up with a strong feeling that I could get things done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you actually look up in the Wikipedia under the what makes a good leader, right? That's actually supposedly one of the traits that's a good leader, someone who believes that they can get things done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from there, when I was in college, right? Like what a lot of people say, oh, what do you want to be, right? With your major and stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually liked English because I thought the idea of convincing others was really the true power. You know what I mean?
Power persuasion.
So that actually lends itself toward politics, things like that. And also, I'm also into like the music and the DJ thing. Mm-hmm. And that events production, type of background is also well suited towards this, and that's creation of a spectacle is kind of well suited to this particular endeavor. So they kind of like meld well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun, man, and I like it. So when I was in college, actually, one things really opened up for me though, when I was able to be in the executive position in my school's student, because a lot of student governments, to tell the truth, nowadays are nothing. In the 70s, 80s, you heard about powerful student movements making like powerful statements about and taking positions, right, for or against the war, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like maybe this defund the police thing, they could say something about it, right? Mm-hmm. Not sure that I would agree with it or disagree with it, right? But what I do know is that the students would say something about it, but now you don't hear anything from the students. Why is this? Because there's been a systemic degradation and purposeful destruction of student activism. Yeah, that's another topic all in itself.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, dead ass. But the dang, where was I going with that?
About how you became, you started realizing where you wanted to go as an activist.
The thing is that having that, okay, so a lot of people in socialist organizations, right? Because I was involved with some of them back in the past. There was a group called International Socialist Organization. But actually, my branch got kicked out, which is kind of funny, right? That's another story, yeah? But the thing is that taught me that that sometimes the leadership of an organization can be oppressive, because the thing is that all we asked for was we wanted to have open executive meetings. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the executives of the group would have a meeting, but anybody could attend and watch what was going on. Now, Nationals, right? We didn't protest the fact that Nationals is because we understood that was a controversial organization, right? Mm-hmm. But we decided to do that locally. But not as in terms of protest or anything. We weren't protesting Nationals, right? We weren't saying they were bad. We just did it locally because it's something we believed in, and then they de-recognized us. What is that? Are you serious? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, man? That's whack, right?
Yeah, that is whack.
That's whack. So
you guys are trying to make a systemic change and something that you find unfair, and then they're
so the people have to well, anyways, I got into the government, right, and then student government, and we were not compromised, and we were able to do so much more, and it was amazing, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I got to work with local businesses. To this day, that bookstore is still around, like saving students money. Their charter was they had to guarantee better prices than the bookstore on campus. That was badass. That was great, you know what I mean? So a lot of people in the Bernie movement, they saw how being involved could change things, mm-hmm. right? And I've been also a part of that. So I've seen that myself and been able to do that before. But oh my God, the haters and the corrupt people, it's disgusting.
So you started in 2016 Were you also volunteering for Bernie's campaign?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
back then, way back. Yeah, the first time.
Yeah. So that what was that experience like, and how did that influence you to get to where you are right now as a big activist right now in the events that you've done recently, which we'll also talk about?
Well, actually, I for a long time I saw there was problems in the Democratic Party, so I've been Green Party for like most of my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like when I was doing college, like we would be protesting things, and I would really be on the front lines of activism back then too. Right? I was a part of the protests against Iraq war, things like that. So the present work with the burning thing is really just a continuation, but it was really over the time thing because when I was in the '90s, that's when Bernie Sanders had started. And as socialists, there was a hot debate like, oh, we gotta like do it through revolutionary means. We have to be revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot do it through the system. Yeah, you want to freaking kill people, man? Are you serious? You know what I mean? Are you really serious? Come on, man. You want to talk about the revolution for real, man. You're gonna stock up guns? Come on, man. You don't do that. You know what I mean? So I really would rather do it like the nice way. You know what I mean? Come on, yeah.
What do you
So I
mean by
appreciate that.
what do you mean by like the nice way, like working
Like Bernie
within?
way, you know what I mean? Like through electoral politics, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the things people got to be responsible to. But yeah, you know what I mean? That's we have by being responsible, we can avoid these stupid revolutions and stuff, and people getting hurt and killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's peaceful ways of doing it,
Yeah,
and
hopefully, yeah.
we've seen it throughout history too, like especially with the civil rights movement, with peaceful protests, and that people accomplished a lot of things that we see as archaic today. The way that they segregated people back then. That was the result of peaceful protesting. And there was
Yeah,
no like there was no Civil War II just to give black people more rights. There was a war back in the late 1800s, but things were more archaic back then. But yeah, we've evolved more as a society to have to rely on violence, like a war type of violence to achieve such a
and we need
revolution.
news agencies like Power Anthem Network and like yourself, independent producers like yourself,
Hmm.
to show the peaceful protests that the mass media refuses to show. That they
Yeah.
only show the sensational. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're tearing down a statue. Oh my god. You know what I mean? Like,
Meanwhile,
that's
they're
what they
not
focus
seeing
on.
like
I think it's
the
weird. You know what I mean? I think it's odd. I mean, why they rip down statues all of a sudden? Statues do nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? Like,
the
maybe it's symbolism. Like, I'm
they're
got other things
focusing
going
on the
on in my life.
shock
You know what I mean? I'm
factor.
not hating on it. I don't really know what's going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're focusing on the shock factor of it, and because
Exactly,
that's what's going to
exactly.
give them
And
more
they're
ratings, and they
amplifying it.
want
You
to
know what I mean?
show the
To make money.
yeah, they want to show the protesters as like these animals, when really
Yeah.
there's hundreds, no, thousands of more protests happening out there that are way
You
more
have to admit it's
peaceful.
more interesting though if they portray the protesters as animals. It's like more exciting. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, the fear monger and try to pit us against us, but
Yeah.
that's just what the
Yeah.
elites who own them
If that's
want.
true, right? Because honestly, right, the night before the election, right, of Trump and Hillary, right?
Hmm.
I remember I was with my boys and we're like, yo, it would be funny as fuck if fucking Trump got elected, and it's just on that factor alone, like it could fucking happen. You know what I mean? So what about Kanye? Oh my God, that would be like if people really want to break the system, right? If you have a theory that people voted in Trump to say fuck the system and to break the system, if people voted Kanye, yeah,
An
it's
actual
done.
reality TV show of the White House could start, because people are making jokes about a reality TV show happening with Trump, but with Kanye, imagine like keeping up with the Kardashians in the White House. He's like, oh, what's President Kanye doing?
I would
Oh,
be
he's having
ashamed.
problems with
I'm ashamed
Mitch
just thinking
McConnell right
about it.
now. Jeez.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
That would
That is
really
hilarious.
show where we are as a society, where
Wow, what a
people
proud moment
value
for America.
entertainment so much. But yeah, then
Yeah.
you moved on to Movement for a People's Party, right? When did you join that?
The thing is, I joined that after the Tulsi thing, right? Okay, for a while I was running this group called Taking Action Group, Tulsi Action Group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was really trying to grow that to be like, to possibly support a later run or even just to like, uphold the principles that was like evident during the Tulsi campaign, which I really found myself personally aligned with, like really pretty much to a T. Like for some reason, I don't know why, but like, those anti-war things are very powerful for me because I have, that's also part of my origin story too, right? The thing is that I grew up as a minority, right? I grew up in the country, and also the thing is that my parents, I lived on my own. I lived on the streets at 16 for a while. You know what I mean? That's because I lived in a violent household because my parents grew up in the aftermath of the Korean War. You know what I mean? So they were just used to like the high level of violence. So, that's real personal for me. You know what I mean? The anti-war stuff.
Yeah, it really hits you, and it not just you, but it hit a lot of people personally. But Tulsi's message was being suppressed by the mainstream media, and unfortunately, a lot of independent media channels like the Young Turks and the Sam Cedar were attacking Tulsi Gabbard using mainstream media smears, which goes completely against what they stand for and what they're trying to do, which is to build a movement against these corporations, like to help Bernie Sanders and to pull people in. You're going to need other supporters who found Tulsi Gabbard, who's also an outsider, who is an ally to Bernie Sanders. Same thing about Andrew Yang. He pulled in supporters that Bernie was not able to. He was able to convert some Republicans onto his side and to wake a lot of people up into seeing the systemic problems of this country. And rather than pulling them in, they would ridicule them, they would attack them. So yeah, it was all counterproductive. It was counterproductive, and it was a big contributing factor to why Bernie Sanders couldn't win in 2020.
Yeah. And, I know this country is really talking a lot about racial justice right now. You know what I mean? And I just want to talk about that in a way that some people might not just have been noticing, right? But the thing is that, it's also true that, there's definitely like, war going on, right, on Black people. And wait, let me not get too, like, use the big words, like that's too much, yeah? But we can see that things are not fair for Black people as in terms of, like what's going on with them, right? And everybody knows it's just like, no, yeah? But also simultaneously, there's also war against brown people. They just blew up that general and stuff like that, right, in Iraq. But these brown lives, right, they just don't matter as much. You know what I mean? So,
because people are not seeing it firsthand.
Yeah, I'm used to that too. You know what I mean?
It's because people aren't seeing happening firsthand. They're not there, but they're seeing it happening at home. So now it's what we need to do, like you and I, who are more informed about this stuff, is at those rallies, we need to inform them. Look, Black Lives Matter in other countries too. Look at what's happening in Sudan and Somalia. It's what the U.S. is doing. And look at what they're doing to brown people in Libya, Syria, Iraq.
Yeah, so we can use that to man consistency, right, from these legislators, right, that are still continuing to promote like, war policies that, affect adversely, right, disproportionately, right, colored communities and racial communities, right? That's also a form of racial oppression. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if we can use that argument, that seems to be very hot right now. I'll use anything, right? Stop these damn wars. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it was after Tulsi Gabbard, she suspended her campaign. That's when you joined the Movement for a People's Party?
I actually joined Yang Gang first. Now the thing is that I'm actually also, just so you know, part of many groups. Like back from the day, I was part of Wolfpack. I'm still part of Wolfpack, I think, right? I'm in Brand New Congress. I'm in Justice Democrats. I'm also, just so you know, when I was in the Tulsi campaign, I was also in the Pete campaign, the Biden campaign, the Klobuchar campaign. I get all their emails. I understand all their messaging. I see how they shape their messaging. You know what I mean? I know when they're having events. I know what they're giving away. You know what I mean? I want to know. Yeah. I've even phone banked for some of these other candidates, right? And compared the names. Are we calling the same people? You know what I mean? I don't trust a goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Anything. I'm checking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good strategy to get in there and understand what's going on in there.
I want to know.
Look at Look at you infiltrating.
It's hilarious. I could get you Biden like free stickers. You want some free Biden stickers?
So like, what did you see that was like funny among them? Like, what information did you see that a lot of their supporters were lacking, and what would you say when they would say something that was
There's
like
actually
incorrect?
there's a really interesting storylines about what's going on, because you'll see like Klobuchar used to be sending a lot more emails, you know what I mean, trying to get
Yeah,
that VP position. She was now certain people came out for Joe Biden, and that actually matched with people that he was matching up on his literature, right? So he was promoting Pete. Pete would send out repeated emails like asking for support for Joe. You know what I mean?
really.
Klobuchar would do that as well.
While they were
Then
still,
Kamala Harris, when she got hot, she started to send out a
yeah,
couple. You know what I mean? So you can see that actually happening in real time, like also
while
through the.
while they were still running, like what, or was this after they
No,
dropped
like even
out?
after they dropped out, right? But the thing is that when they were being considered for vice presidential slots and
Got it.
stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they were starting to like, you could see like, it wasn't like, yeah, there was you can definitely feel like there's some correlation going on there. So it's just like another storyline to follow. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Like they were already working together, and there was more unity there with the establishment candidates, but with the outsider candidates, there wasn't. And I think part of that reason is because Bernie's campaign was infiltrated by a lot of establishment people like Jeff Weaver and Chuck Rocha, who are really just in
And
it
it's
for
really
themselves.
disappointing that there's so little talk about what happened in the Tulsi campaign. You're damn right. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And they infiltrated Bernie's campaign, and they didn't do it to Tulsi's campaign. Yeah, right. There's no way. I can't believe it. What do you think?
That there is a
There was
possibility
some
that there
infiltration
was
going on in the
infiltration in
Tulsi
Tulsi's
campaign.
campaign. I believe it's possible.
I think there
May
has to be.
Could it have influenced her decision in endorsing Joe Biden? Maybe.
Oh
I
no,
saw.
no, I'm not sure about that.
I think
Maybe.
I had a discussion with Israel, Big Talk, Little Talk, about how she was just doing it because it's best for her survival and her career to do
Yeah, I
that.
would agree with that. That sounds like a
So,
fair. You know what I mean? Also, she already signed the
yeah,
contract.
exactly. Yeah. So I understood that, but I saw a tweet today by one of her campaign managers. What's his name? It's like Cullen. You probably know who he is. He made a tweet that was like, I would like I
No.
would catch a bullet for Ro Khanna.
Oh, but
Where's this?
okay, I think I saw something about that. Yeah, but look, I know Rokana is like controversial and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Listen, he doesn't come into my sphere of life. You know what I mean? Like whatever, that's fine. You know what I mean? Whatever.
yeah.
People are gonna hate. You can't dim Tulsi's light. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He could have his little dream or whatever. I don't know why he said it. People are wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? And
But then there's all
you
these
know
like
that's
financial
okay.
ties that he
Hmm?
has with like Silicon Valley, and how he has like advantages in stocks because his wife is like a part of some organization where she gets information first. I personally think that if you're in politics, you shouldn't have like stocks or anything. You have to sell all your stocks, otherwise you're gonna have conflict of interest.
It's a dirty game, man. I understand it too, though. I understand it too.
Yeah.
But like, okay. So here's the thing, right? Like, okay, so I'm gonna put it to you from a music industry standard. Okay, yeah. You ever hear of like an artist sold out?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
An artist sold out. Like he used to make good quality music, but now he does what his record label tells him to do.
Okay, so can you give me an example?
Huh. An example of someone who sold out in the music industry.
Vanilla
You know,
Ice. That's like the most
Vanilla
famous one,
Ice.
right?
I don't know what he
His
did
image
before
and
he.
stuff.
I don't know what he did
No.
when before he became big.
Okay.
But if he was making good quality like underground music, then yeah, that could be an example.
I mean, he said he sold out. He said like he changed his image and stuff, right?
Hmm.
So it looked. He said he wasn't really into the image that like was portrayed by the record label, but he said that that's what they wanted, and but he got really big. He made a lot of money, right? So the thing is, how would you define success, right? So the thing is that you yourself, right? How much can you accomplish? Maybe you could build a house, right? But if you
Hmm.
have a team, you could build a skyscraper. You know what I mean? So by working with others, you can exceed your maximum potential. You know what I mean? So that's what's cool about. So look, sometimes we have parts that are not going to fit perfectly together like this Ro Khanna situation. It's going to have like, or it's not going to be optimal. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes some things need to be corrected. I don't know, man, right? It seems like he's going to be an ally on some things. I'll take it for now.
Yeah,
what's the alternative? Is there a better alternative?
Yeah,
if there is a better alternative, I'm down for it.
I'm not suggesting canceling anyone. Like, if they're gonna endorse policies that benefit the progressive movement, then they deserve praise for that. But
I just saw so much hostile language about Ro Khanna, though, like from other places. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know other people just like cancel him, but like I'm just wary of him. Like I'm wary of him, and like if he does something that's just like in your face, shows who he truly is, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like we need as many allies as we can, but again, like we need to have our eyes open, and not just like blindly trust people.
And I'm really glad you say that, because I'm such a believer in that, to tell you the truth. And it's got to be an ongoing process. Yeah, you can't just like, oh, this person's cool, and then just like stop watching, right? You got to have some checks and balances to help them stay accountable. You know what I mean? It's for their own good. You know what I mean? If you have that's what a personal trainer can help you do, something like that, right? Or a coach, yeah, help you meet your targets, things like that. You know what I mean? There's nothing so bad with that. So
yeah, I see what you mean. So then like I saw you did a great video with Nick Branya and Jerry Perez of MPP. So like what position did you have in MPP, and like what have you guys like accomplished so far, and do you see that if MPP is going to make it further than what the Green Party and the Libertarian Party have accomplished, since MPP is being more broad with their messaging and they're trying to attract people all around who are just sick and tired of this system. They're just trying to be that party that's just not corrupted by any corporations, but they're also not only just appealing to liberals or only appealing to conservatives. They're trying to appeal to everybody to take down the system.
I think it's what I'm releasing now could actually tarnish Nick's star power a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. But also, like a hip hop beef, it could also promote it big time. You know what I mean? And we could both come out big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's fun beef. You know what I mean? I think it's good. You know what I mean? So it's not personal, but definitely. I don't know, by kicking me out. You know what I mean? They started it, so I didn't start this. You know what I mean? Now, as in terms of working with MPP, like my role, I was just a volunteer. Mm-hmm. They have these, and that's one of actually the issues, is that the leadership, who's in the leadership, is not clear, right? If you go to the website right now, right, peoplesparty.org, yeah, and then click on About Us, right? Maybe you think like maybe that would have like who the leaders are.
Yeah, I did that because I was confused.
Does anything on that site say that Nick Branya is the leader?
No, that's what I was confused. Like I went on because I wanted to know, like, is Nick Branya the leader? But like they have a lot of people on there, and they just say like Nick Branya did all this work and blah blah blah.
So they do have some documentation that talks about and I actually spoke in. I like this actual setup, but we're having a decentralized, right, work group style, circles that form, right. But the thing is that I don't see what people. Like one of the things that towards the end that I think why I was asked to leave in the end was I asked about starting to set up work groups of my own. And I was like, how can we get things onto the, get the organization behind, supporting Assange? You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it to try to be, snarky or try to be fresh or try to cause problems, like some people might say. But as soon as I started bringing up stuff like that, right, they started saying, stop making trouble, be quiet. I don't listen to those things. I don't know. Remember, I'm new there. You know what I mean? So I don't know if these people have any authority or not, because there's nothing written. Oh, here's some. It's just like a freaking soap drums. I swear to God, I got this message, right? Yo, blah 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 is bad. Don't mess with this person. I said, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. I mean, I don't honestly. Maybe you're for real. Maybe this person's bad. I'm gonna see who's more effective at getting things done. Then I'll work with you. You get what I mean? What is this? Honestly, the whole nature of this email, honestly, is something I don't appreciate. but maybe you're for real, so I'll give it a shot. We'll see. Yeah, that's literally what I said back. It's really kind of juvenile. That's what I think.
Yeah, like sounds like some high school drama.
It's
Don't mess
hilarious,
with blah
man.
blah.
I'm removed from the club. Yeah, good luck doing that. I'm not leaving. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do? It's hilarious.
It's unfortunate because like I myself was looking up to
It needs to be cleaned
MPP.
up. That's all. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick's staying out of it. I think, right? And Nick hasn't said anything about it. That means like, is this even official? You know what I mean? It's
it
not clear
sounds
yet.
to me like there needs to be a lot of more organization.
I'm gonna call for a vote. Let's, actually, I don't think it's a bad thing, right? It could drive interest in the organization, and really, we need to have participation. That is key.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can be fun for people, you know what I mean? And, not that it's really, I think it's fun for me, you know what I mean? Like, look, I've been, whatever, fuck it, you know what I mean? But I'm sure that they're going to start launching, like, attacks and stuff like that. It's already, the letter itself is ugly, yeah. But,
What did the letter
do I
say
think the organization
exactly?
can survive, you ask me? I do think it can, because the idea of having anything new is cool. 2020 will affect 2024. They have an okay ground game, and they have the support of the media. But here's another thing, like I'm not that dumb, right? And the Assange thing is very highly supported by Kim Iverson, Jimmy Dore, right? Nico House. They love Assange, right? So they're not going to get in the way of. They might even like put pressure on Nick and MPP or whoever's going on there to actually support, this Assange deal.
It's the logical thing to support Assange.
Yeah, because more people in the organization will see that they can start getting their own ideas through,
speech.
And it will be forced to become more democratic. Exactly what I want.
Yeah.
We're all activists. This is what we do all the time. We can't stop this.
Like, why would they not want to support Assange? Or why would they not want to put that on their platform? Do they think that it's too divisive?
I'm asking them also in the video for an explanation. Like, if they don't do that, or if they don't support, I'm going to ask for an explanation. Because honestly, I think that's fair. You know what I mean? And what do the people want? Right? They want to say they're the People's Party, right? The people want an explanation. Or I can accept maybe you don't do it if you have a real reason. Okay? I can accept that. I don't expect that. I don't force everybody to think the same like me. I accept some people are for no guns and some people are for having guns. And I really completely get both sides of it. You know what I mean? So, like in this case, you're allowed to have your own, are you allowed to have your own opinion?
Yeah, I know, but there can be some objection there. Like if you don't support somebody who's being targeted just because he revealed some embarrassing information about the government, that means that they could go after anybody and call them dangerous if they reveal something that goes against what the empire wants.
Maybe that's because in their own personal philosophy, because you can see from the execution of this, we don't want people introducing ideas like Assange around, right? We also want a controlling society doesn't want that around. You get what I mean? Let me actually introduce you to something funny, right? You know about Confucius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So when you think about Chinese society is over 2,000 years old, right? Yeah, over, I think it's 5,000, yeah? Continuous history, right? So how many other Chinese philosophers do you know about?
What was Tao Chinese?
Okay, so there's Tao, and that's about it, right? Tao and Confucius, that's it, right? What is Confucius is like a very linear system, like a very rigid caste hierarchical system. You get what I mean? You obey this person, blah 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 blah. Suppression went on for a long time. Yeah, there was a lot of other philosophers throughout those decades, centuries. Burning of books in China is big time. There's still a censored, controlled society. You get what I mean? Yeah. So we have to fight for those freedoms of information. You know what I mean? It's definitely a big issue. But some people who are used to that type of thinking, right? Why would they want Assange around? They don't want to promote people that make those people heroes. Then people listen. I've been called the Assange dude. You know what I mean? Because I will go after the truth. You know what I mean? Like in this case right here. Yeah. Like this Assange thing that I'm unlocking right now. Like they don't like that. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
So yeah,
I see a lot of similarities.
because you were doing stuff with Steve, like Steve Poikonen, like you were collaborating with him. You're trying to integrate
like
that.
whether it was him personally, it wasn't really about Steve, to tell you the truth, right? And I really appreciate Steve for being on my show.
Yeah.
But it was really about Assange, and it's really about like you can't take someone he was just given the information like a newspaper and he just published it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like in Americans' interests. And now he's a criminal.
So it's just
yeah.
It's just the higher ups that don't like this, right? But it's not it's not the majority of the activists, right?
That
like
are for
within MPP.
For Assange. Let's have a vote on
MPP.
it. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, why isn't there a vote being held on it? Let's make it happen.
That's
I'm
insane.
calling for it.
Like we're already seeing this organization, I don't know if I could call it corruption, because I don't think that they're supposed to be against taking corporate money, but like you were mentioning before this video, you said that there's a lot of Bernie people there. Maybe subconsciously they're just against it because Bernie never said anything about it. They feel like they shouldn't say anything about it either, because they think it's something that's too controversial.
That's something I think I agree with that 100% as well. Yeah, they got used to not talking about it. Exactly. They got used to it's just an uncomfortable subject for them, so they just don't do it.
So this is kind of like
not doing that. Yeah,
a Bernie
exactly. I agree with that
spin-off.
100%.
So it's like a Bernie spin-off movement. Like, do you think that they're welcoming enough?
They are the ones who are trying to run the show. They're trying to control things. You get what I mean? But that's not cool. And the other people need to step up. How are they going to remove? That's why they're removing me. You get what I mean? Did you see that event? Did you see the footage? It looks great.
Yep.
Compared to the footage from the other ones. Mine's the best.
So just so the audience knows, what event was this? Like, you went to somebody's house in your district, and you went to Chuck Schumer's house. And what was the purpose of that event?
Two. We had a list of 6 demands.
Mm-hmm.
They call them demands. I made requests. I didn't call them demands. I call them requests. That's okay. It's the same thing.
And those demands were about what? What were
number one was going to be, I think it was it Medicare for all? No, defund the police was number one. Mm-hmm. And they made a concession for me, which I appreciate, right? Because I wasn't really too happy with that wording. But they said to take money from, police funds and to shuttle that towards social services. Yeah. And I'm also worried about, tell you the truth, personally, right? In my personal opinion, just to add a little, I don't want them to take the money from police pensions, and I don't want them to take away money from servicing in the poor neighborhoods. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because that's what can happen. I think that's definitely missing in that language. Yeah, that's why I'm not crazy about, because you got to be specific. Loose language like that can cause a lot of problems down the line, mm-hmm. dead ass. You know what I mean? I'm really not happy with that. And anytime that anybody in the group, because people do bring it up about changing that messaging, they're shut down. So I know that, and a lot of people talk to me about this. So I know that my video series is going to be super hot within the organization. Mm-hmm. We'll see if they suppress this discussion or not in the organization. I know people are going to get at me about what's going on in that Slack right there, even though they shut me out, right? Tell me in the Slack if they're allowed to talk about this. I'll be very interested.
They don't have control of YouTube, though. So, I mean, we can put it up, and people outside of their movement who are also activists can share this and expose and be like, look, there's all these Bernie people in the MPP that are still not seeing it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's just their subconscious tells them that they're doing the right thing. They think that this is the most pragmatic thing to do.
We have to fight for it ourselves.
We have to let them know that this isn't the best strategy, because there's a lot of people who are pro Assange, and there's other people out there who didn't have who weren't Bernie Sanders sycophants, who they need to welcome into the party.
We need to have Assange people swarm to the party right now. All the Assange activists swarm into the party and vote to support putting Assange. It doesn't have to be in the platform. It could be a resolution to support Assange. Something. Something for MPP to support Assange, because I want to do things with Assange activists here in the city, and I want to use MPP resources to help them, and I also want to take advantage of people that I think align with us. I agree with Steve that it's a post-partisan. You ever heard that definition?
Yeah,
post-partisan. You know,
like
and I love that, man.
It shouldn't be
bigger
political.
than MPP, but MPP can definitely show support, and I think they should. And I think it's the right thing to do. And if the group votes against it, that's fair too. Okay, I'll eat that one.
I recommend.
But don't stop the vote from happening.
I recommend that too. Like I support the goal that MPP has. You know, I was telling a lot of people in my early videos.
It's up to us. We can determine what MPP is. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I was telling
they don't
people,
like that kind of language.
I was telling, like, when I first started making videos, I was telling people what we need is we need a new party that's going to appeal to not just liberals, but also conservatives who are tired of the system. And I think MPP is doing that. So that means that they need to put their social issues and everything else like on the side. Focus mainly on getting money out of politics. Don't take a stand too much on like all this other stuff, unless if it's something post-partisan, like what Steve said, in which case if Assange is a post-partisan situation. Like I don't think anyone should be like, oh, I don't feel. No, it's like it's objectively bad for you to not be for Assange.
Yeah. Not only is it morally bad, you know what I mean? Having a strong, independent press is absolutely freaking vital to any success of a third party, which already has so many hurdles to face. They need that in place, and it's been completely destroyed.
It's counterintuitive. They're suppressing themselves by doing that.
They must, right? Well, it's up to them, but they really should do it, and I'm pushing for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that more people need to know about your experience here. Like,
download the app, man. MPP app.
I'm hoping that bigger channels out there can have you on and talk about your experience of what happened, because there needs to be more organization in MPP, because for a lot of people now who are sick and tired of this two-party system, they're looking for a place to go. And it's true that we can like change things by working outside of the system, but I think that the Republicans and the Democrats, like the politicians, need to see that there's a threatening third party out there, that we're not just going to keep voting for you guys just because we have nowhere else to go. No. We need to have another option out there, and they need to see that threat. That's how we have our leverage.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's another thing I just want to actually say that I think is actually a big people just don't really understand. But when you leave a system like the Democratic Party, right, and you join the Greens Party, you're entering a new system. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And all systems need to be kept clear of corruption. That's not always so bad, like as in terms of like straight evil, but there's sometimes it's just people being lazy, or like bad habits, like like not getting the best, like not continuously reviewing for the best deal for the company. You know what I mean? Or for and then you just stack losses that are unnecessary that taxpayers have to eat. I mean, irresponsible, fiscal leadership and stuff like that. Sorry, yeah. So as in terms of organizing different organizations like MPP, I hope that they can have a more open structure and more public and transparent structure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that this raising these issues will embolden many other people to start. And so I want you to start organizing right here. Yeah, this is the very first video that's coming out on this particular subject right here. So in the comments section right here, exactly, they cannot control this, right? On the Slack, they may ban any talk of this. Have discussion in the comments right below. This will be the first and official source for information regarding this.
Yeah, please share this video. Share it to people with bigger channels out there, with bigger voices who are supportive of Assange.
I'll stay on this video and I'll keep commenting on how the situation develops. I have my own video coming out soon too.
All right. I thank you so much, djelf7, for coming on. When are you gonna come on the Big Talk Little Talk panels, man? We need your voice on there.
You love reading my chat comments.
Yeah, you could do both
a lot of fun
though.
in those things, huh?
You could do both though.
Yeah, I crack you guys up in the comments, right?
Yep. Yeah. You keep the chat live.
I'll be trying to make you guys crack up while you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You guys
I'll
do
be
damn well. You do too well, man. I'm ashamed. I gotta practice more.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, you do well too. All you have to do is speak from your heart
Keep
and
your
just
face
be
pretty
honest.
straight. Yeah, I seen a
And
couple slips here and there, but it wasn't anything major.
yep, yeah, we like it's normal. But yeah, hopefully we can have you on again here. I'll be more than
sounds
happy
like fun.
to.
Thank you.
To keep so we can stay updated on what's happening on the ground with these movements. So thanks again, djelf7, for coming on. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and subscribe to djelf7's channel. He has great footage over there. He was protesting outside of Chuck Schumer's house to get some basic needs that we need so that he can get those policies implemented, because for some reason he's not implementing them, and it has to do with him being bought off by the corporations, just like so many other politicians are. So thanks again, and have a great day. Don't forget to stay informed. Thanks for watching that segment of Hear Me Out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so you can get the latest on sports, pop culture, and progressive politics. Stay informed.